Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. To start things off, Ethereum has finally passed by $400 while Chainlink is up again to a brand new all-time high, and Bitcoin has spiked in price to $11,750 Bitcoin's dominance over the market continues to suffer, even though Bitcoin has recovered from its dips and is trading around $11,750. This is primarily because of numerous impressive alt pumps, including Ethereum, which finally broke above $400. The second largest cryptocurrency by market cap is among the most impressive gainers over the last 24 hours. Ethereum dipped below 380 yesterday, but bulls took control and smashed through 400. After a 13% increase from the daily low, Ethereum reached a new high of $430 before retracing about $5, give or take. Interestingly, on its way up, Ether has defied a few short-term fundamental concerns, according to the digital asset analytics company Santiment. Yesterday, the fees on Ethereum skyrocketed to an all-time high, and active Ether addresses dropped to a 2-month low. The company highlighted both as typical bearish signals, and yet Ether pumped hard. We went over the news yesterday that transaction fees on Ether had gone from 8 cents to over $3. I told you this was going to continue happening as Ethereum has very slow transaction speeds. And the other part, as far as like the active addresses dropping in actual usage, is not really a bearish thing, because we had the same exact news 2 months ago that the active addresses on Bitcoin were also slowing down and or lowering, and it was because the idea was, at least, is that less people are going to be using their coins in anticipation of them potentially going up in price. So people are simply accumulating more and they're not touching those addresses. So I also assume over the last couple of months there's been an highly active accumulation of Ether as well. So if there's less Ether moving around and there's less on cryptocurrency exchanges, then logically, if people are still buying, then the price would go up. Here's a little chart right there. Most large cap alts are in the green as well. Also expectedly, Chainlink is up by 5.3%, and yesterday reached another new all-time high of $18.50 on Binance. So the market is, I don't want to say pumping, but the market is definitely moving higher right now. A lot of the altcoins are in green. There are a lot of them that are in bright green because of news that's happened over the last 24 hours. The market looks like it's doing well. Once again, I don't have it here because it's just completely redundant at this point. The number we're waiting for is for Bitcoin to pass by 12,000 US dollars and stay above it for at least a couple of days and not move down, and therefore we will be back in hyper bullish territory. But it feels like, at least to me, we are still in some sort of a, I don't want to say alt season and get people hyped, but the altcoins are doing incredibly well right now, and I feel like that's not going to be stopping anytime soon, especially if we continue to get good news surrounding the cryptocurrency space. A huge trend I'm seeing right now, for those of you not looking at the screen, it says how to earn an insane passive income on your Bitcoin and Ethereum. They're talking about some type of DeFi platform where you lock up your coins and make an insane return on your crypto. I'm seeing a lot of these floating around. I'm getting this question a lot in the comment section. People are asking, how do they make passive income or extra income from their cryptocurrencies? This is part of the reason why we're seeing that pump in DeFi right now, because people are getting antsy and want to make extra money from their cryptocurrencies. It's one thing to be able to buy something and have it sitting in your wallet, but people also want to make extra money on the side because, money. So, yes, there are many platforms out there right now that will help you make passive income from your Bitcoin and Ether. Many of them are on DeFi, and many of them, how do I say this in the simplest way so we can just kind of move on? A lot of these DeFi projects may not be as secure as people are letting on. A lot of these things, not saying this particular one, whichever one might be in this actual article, are not going to be the safest things around. So a lot of people are going to be throwing their money into these projects expecting a return. Some of these projects are going to disappear. They're going to be hacked. They're going to be whatever ends up happening, because that always happens within the cryptocurrency space. Once again, not saying that this is going to happen to this particular platform, but just if you are trying to make some type of passive income through a hyped platform or any type of DeFi thing or anything in general, a lot of these things will tell you that they're going to be lending out your cryptocurrencies and you will receive money back from it. What's the term? Not everything that glitters is gold, or a diamond or something like that. Just make sure that you're paying attention to where your money is going. I'm going to keep saying that until we really get everyone on board, because I see a lot of articles like this popping up, promising either high returns or an insane way to make passive income on your cryptocurrencies. And just always be diligent. If you do decide to use any of these platforms, or any platforms, even things that have been out for a year or two, due diligence. Look for reviews on that platform. Look for, what's the other word? When people leave, I guess, reviews, yeah. About it, see if it's good, see if they've gotten their money back. Are they able to withdraw their money? All these little things just to make sure that your money is safe as you're trying to make passive income on your crypto. Yeah, let's move on. Next up, in super popular news, more like a know your customer procedure, cryptocurrencies derivatives trading exchange BitMEX announced on Friday that it would be implementing ID checks for crypto traders. Once launched, BitMEX users have until February 2021 to complete their verification if they wish to continue trading on the platform. Following the announcement, the exchange will launch the ID checks for crypto traders on the platform precisely on the 28th of August under an initiative dubbed User Verification Program. This will see the cryptocurrency traders on the platform or exchange undergo a 4-step ID process similar to other digital currency exchanges. BitMEX users only have a period of 6 months to complete the ID verification in order to continue using the platform, according to the announcement. While this applies to all individual users, corporate accounts held with the exchange will continue to undergo the existing verification process. So the news is that BitMEX is going to have a KYC AML thing added onto their account. It says the user verification program will require individual users to go through a 4-step process similar to ID checks. On many other cryptocurrency exchanges, individual users will be prompted to upload an ID, a photo ID, proof of address, take a selfie, as well as answer a few questions about your source of funds and your trading experience. It should take about 5 minutes to complete from start to finish. So there's a lot of people feel a particular way about this. I can't say that we shouldn't have all seen this coming. However, we know what's been going on the past 2 years within the cryptocurrency space with KYC and AML. And it appears that BitMEX will also be absorbing these rules as well. So I have more to say, but I think you know what I have to say. And yes, BitMEX will be implementing all of these things soon, in 10 days, and then, or 14 days rather. And then after that, you will have 6 months to complete it, or I assumption that they either lock your account, lock you out of it, or you won't be able to do anything until you verify yourself. And without further ado, let's move on. Next up, for those of you not looking at the screen right now, it says Fed discusses research plans on digital currencies. Federal Governor Lael Brainerd gave some updates yesterday on the Fed's ongoing experimentation with central bank digital currencies. They said, "We have been conducting in-house experiments for the last few years. Not the last few days, not the last few months, but the last few years. Through means that include the board's technology lab, which have been building and testing a range of distributed ledger platforms to understand their potential opportunity and risk. This multidisciplinary team, with application developers from the Fed of Cleveland, Dallas, and New York, supports a policy team at the board that is studying the implications of digital currencies on the payment ecosystem, monetary policy, financial stability, banking and finance, and consumer protection, end quote. Another quote, to enhance the Federal Reserve's understanding of digital currencies, the Federal Reserve of Boston is collaborating with MIT in a multi-year effort to build and test a hypothetical digital currency oriented to central bank uses, end quote. I knew for a while, just off the top of my head, we've had this discussion a couple of other times, that of course the US was making their own central bank digital currency. I think they probably, here's the actual announcement right here on the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve's website. I assume they've been doing this for a while. I don't assume that this is something, even the years. They don't say how many years, but I would bet my bottom dollar it was probably anywhere from 2014 to 2016. That was roughly around the same exact time all the major financial leaders, at least within the states, gave us indications in 2018 that they had been into cryptocurrencies. So one would assume if the policymakers and some of the richest people in that country who make the financial policies had been into crypto since 2014 to 2016 seems like a very good time frame for when they would have started developing and or making and or testing a central bank digital currency. So I assume many of these already exist. I assume they're not doing it on one testnet. They probably are trying out 15 different ways. Yeah, not really much more to say about this right now. I still think it'll take a good 3 to 5 years plus for them to release this actually into the public in the American space. Just kind of how I'm feeling about it. I think they are going to probably, assumption, wait to see when other countries do it, because we have about a good, I think it's 3 to 5 countries right now who plan on releasing them in the next couple of years. I assume they'll see if those are a success, how much control they have over the monetary system, how much tracking can be done through all of the actual payments on the blockchain or distributed ledger technology system. And then if it works out, then they'll start rolling it out slowly across the states. Assumption, they'll start with the banks first, the larger institutions. It'll happen behind the scenes for major companies as they're processing your money. It'll all happen digitally on that ledger. And then eventually there will be an app that you will be able to download and use a digital dollar yourself. This is, of course, just all assumptions, but I mean, we're here. What else? What other direction would this be going in? We're going to live in a completely digital future in about a good 15 to 20 years. And a lot of people don't see it, but it's going to completely make a lot of people's head spins because it's going to be something else. Anyway, that's the US digital dollar news. And without further ado, let's move on. Next up, where are the words? There we go. Bitcoin transaction batching, which combines many send requests into a single transaction on Coinbase, has saved over 75% in transaction fees, and in turn has reduced the total daily transactions by 95%. In their most recent blog, Coinbase reported the findings to highlight the benefits of Bitcoin transaction batching as a scaling solution to its customers, its internal operations, and to the Bitcoin network itself. Coinbase said Bitcoin transaction batching works by packaging up many customers' send requests into a single transaction rather than creating a new transaction for every request. I don't know if you guys remember, we did this. We had this, not that we discussed it, but there was a company that was doing this around a good 2 years ago. They were I assume they're still around, a remittance company. So as people are trying to send money around the world, and they were trying to do so in Bitcoin, they said, let us do it for you, or whatever the third-party mechanism was that they were doing. And they said that instead of sending tens of thousands of transactions per day, they were sending them, I think, every hour or every couple of hours, and they kind of batched all of them together, and they said their fees dropped dramatically and the transaction times and all this other stuff because they weren't clogging the network. Because if you logically have at least 300 companies around the world who are doing this, even if we shrunk it down to 10 companies who are doing this and they're sending over 100,000 transactions per day, that's a lot of transactions on the Bitcoin network, and Bitcoin won't be able to really keep up. However, if you start batching them all together and you send out 3 transactions per day, well, I mean, that's a huge drop down from the 10 to 100,000 transactions that you would have been sending. The bulk packaging reduces the overall cost of sending each transaction separately and reduces the load of transactions waiting to be processed on the Bitcoin network. Coinbase introduced transaction batching on the 12th of March and has since been batching all Bitcoin consumer payments from Coinbase and Coinbase Pro. Cool. Wonderful. Not really much more to say about it. I think this is going to be the way forward. Just kind of saying that because, once again, the core is not going to be updated anytime soon. I think there's what was the news of like a couple of soft forks on Bitcoin's network. I think they were for the private transaction things. That's not going to be updated for the core will probably never be updated. We'll probably only have side chains and third layer and second layer and fourth layer solutions. And we haven't, if you've noticed, we have not had any news about the Lightning Network in a while. It's been a while. Like, there's been absolutely none. I assume people are still working on it. But maybe it feels like we've kind of moved forward from there. I honestly don't know, but we haven't heard the words Lightning Network in, it's like 5 months. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, earlier today, the blockchain project Waves and Tron announced a strategic partnership that will establish a bridge between the two networks through the use of what they call Gravity. Gravity being an oracle in a cross-chain communication network that is token agnostic. This means that the two blockchains of Tron and Waves can be connected together. They said Waves and Trons are using Gravity to connect their respective blockchain smart contract languages, RIDE and Solidity. Gravity is a blockchain and token agnostic oracle with cross-chain communication network. Tron and Waves are establishing a bridge through Gravity, which will allow both ecosystems to enhance access to services for two user bases. End quote. So years ago, this was called, or was supposed to have been called, atomic swaps. Something similar to it. The idea was in 2013 and 2014 that by the year 2020, nearly every single blockchain would be connected. And you'd be able to use them interoperably whenever you wanted at any given point in the future, just simply by flicking the screen on your phone or whatever you wanted. You could go immediately from Litecoin to Bitcoin to XRP to Ethereum in a matter of second, not even seconds, because it would be instantaneous. And you'd be able to use it this way. But now what it appears to be happening is that many different blockchain projects are simply connecting their blockchains together. I assume we're going to have a multi-cross-chain kind of thing in the next 5 years. Just because, logic. I think a couple of them have like short bridges. I don't know the extent of a lot of them, but this one definitely made headlines. Key to the bridge between Tron and Waves using Gravity is that users and developers will interact with both ecosystems, thus increasing interactions between the two user bases. Consequently, both Tron and Waves will thrive together. The use of Gravity will enhance DeFi in both ecosystems, as summarized in the tweets below by the Tron Foundation. Okay. So the point is to outpace Ethereum. Got it. Waves was created as if I'm not mistaken, as not a replacement to Ethereum, but it was one of those coins that kind of came out as like our coin can do the exact same thing as so-and-so. And also in the very beginning when Waves came out, a lot of people were comparing it to XRP because they both had that like blue and white symbol together. Anyway, and I guess because Ripple has to do with like a drop in the water and Waves has to... Logic. Anyway, the point is both of these coins shot up in price yesterday. I assume it has to be based off of this news. We'll see what comes of it. I think we are going to, and I mean, I also hope that this happens because what's the word? Competition. If Ethereum can do it all, then that kind of makes every other coin pointless. However, a lot of these coins have been stating for years that they are able to do what Ethereum does, if not better. I think Tron currently does, 3,000 to 5,000 transactions per second. Ethereum does 15. I have no idea how many Waves does, but you'd assume that they'd... All right, anyway, Tron and Waves have partnered together. They've linked up their blockchains, and wonderful. And without further ado, let's move on. And to finish things off, as Cardano staking pools continue rising in numbers, they're also gaining their own personalities. The latest the latest in unique pools of Shelly is the Shop stake pool that's developing the first Cardano e-commerce integration for Shopify, which will enable ADA payments in over 500,000 stores. As detailed on GitHub, a developer known as University is going to build Cardano integrations with e-commerce and enable customers to pay for their online purchases with ADA for zero fees. And I assume that's zero commissions because it says and commissions. Anyway, initially, he said we're going to release and maintain a official Shopify store, which will immediately be accessible to more than 500,000 online businesses around the world who generate $1 million per minute. The app will even be better with smart contract integration, as it will support the introduction of subscriptions and reoccurring payment in both Cardano and other native tokens that'll be running on Cardano. Cool. So Cardano is going to have access, or people who have ADA will have access to Shopify through their payment and online stores. Cool. Awesome. I see nothing wrong with it. I would like, ideally, if I don't want to say every coin. We don't need to go. Imagine going onto a website. You're clicking on payment options and there's like 8,000 cryptocurrencies. I think it's smart for all the top coins to have something like this. I mean, of course, the other smaller coins are also going to try and have their own thing. But it's nice that we continue to see the adoption of cryptocurrencies in this way. I still, STILL, do not think that anyone's going to be paying in their crypto anytime soon. Once again, because everyone's waiting for dramatic price rises. If you have, I think Cardano's at like 12 cents. Imagine it goes up to 28 cents and you're like, oh crap, I wish I hadn't sold because I would have more than double the money. Imagine it goes up to $1.20. You had 10 times the purchasing power. So I don't think anyone's going to be buying anytime soon. However, I do think when we start hitting really astronomical numbers, we're going to see a lot of people selling their cryptocurrencies. I'm also interested to see if when prices do start going up, because there are already a lot of places where you can like pay for homes and things like that in crypto. I wonder when that eventual spike will happen where tons of companies are really like announcing like you can definitely pay in Bitcoin on our platform, because that'll really change a lot of things. Like if the cryptocurrency market's going completely insane, and you simply go to a website and kind of cash out and like buy a place or escrow the money or swap it into Tether, but like you still pay in crypto, I think that'd be a huge incentive for a lot of people to get into the cryptocurrency market. But anyway, yeah, Cardano is Shopifying itself because, you know, the future. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Professor Wally from Gunbot University, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, Navarro Williams, David James, Attila the Han, Yasha Harari, Oscar Maldonado, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Joshua Vineyard, Martin Storio, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Animal Reader, A Bibliophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Moher Maroni, Master Ventures in Thailand, Jared Schneider, Wise Knight Owl, 242 to the World, Crypto Joe, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Damian Setsuna, Nick Kanaya, Richie III, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Mangela, Vori, Anthony Charles, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller, Hishchese, Day, and Cal Skips Leg Day, Yes to Crypto, Body Make Boatface, Anytime Fitness, Mouse Corner Staff, Arfmedic 17, Bake Me a Cake, Tigra, Macho Nisa, On Crypto with Lana, Crayola, Michelle, URL, and Bolero, Bastos. Thank you all very, very much for your support. Thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel, and thank you to everyone who supports the channel in their own way. At the moment, Bitcoin is currently up by 3%. It is at 11,701 US dollars. Ethereum is up by 11%. There was a huge spike here last night in all the cryptocurrencies prices. Not really exactly sure why, what caused it. However, it's nice to see everything in the green. I read on a website, apparently the next, I think barriers, there were like 9 different barriers. I'm not going to even say all of them. The next barriers for Ethereum, I think, were like 440, like 467. It was very odd numbers, and I think the last one is like 497. And at that point, you know, sky's the limit and all that. If we continue to get good news from Ethereum about the soon-to-be released 2.0, I assume the price will continue rising. This must also be simply because maybe there was some good news about the actual public testnet that hasn't been released yet, and people were like, okay, this actually does work, and therefore that's why the price went up. XRP is up by 6%. Chainlink is now the number 5 coin, has passed by Bcash. It is up by 3%. Cardano is up by 4%. Litecoin's up by 7%. Binance Coin is up by 4%. Lumens is up by almost 9%. Not sure why. Tron is up by 20%, logically because of the news that we got. Neo is also up by almost 13%. Question mark, question mark. Zcash is up by 7%. Algorand is up by 46%. I have many question marks floating around in my head right now. Where's the other really crazy one? Yeah, here we go. Waves. Waves is up by 46%. 46% on news that it's connecting to Tron. We had news that Bitcoin is allowed at every single US bank, and its price rose by 2%. Just gonna throw that out there. And Icon, I mean, all the altcoins are green, except for that, whatever Swipe is. That's the only one in red. Even Omise Go is up by almost 19%. Not sure why, but it's nice to see it back in the top 50 for the next couple seconds. Remember the other video when I was like talking about Omise Go, and like 3 seconds later it popped away? Anyway, let me scroll up before it disappears again and I get sad. I do hope that you all enjoyed. I hope that you all are having a... Wait, what's today? Happy Friday, everyone. Very glad to say that. It's been a long week. Hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.